Hey, this is Draffet Store, and this one's on perception. Now, I'm not sure if I've done this particular one before, and because of events recently, if not, I'm doing it again. Now, I've already did this one once already, and I accidentally deleted it, so I have to redo it, and it's going to be with a little less fervor than I had before. Webster's Dictionary. Pile, passion, patent, inflammatory, periodical, affection, perception. Perception. The mental grasp of objects, etc., through the senses, insight or intuition, the knowledge, etc., gotten from perceiving. Alright. Now, the reason why I'm doing this is that people perceive things through their five senses. So when the truth is told to them by, in air quotes here, other areas, mainstream media, government, police forces, your friends or whatever, you take the perception of the world around you by what these people tell you. And your perception sometimes isn't right. Now, perception is something that is, subjective. Now, if you don't understand what I mean by that, is you perceive good, you perceive evil. Now, and then there's the gray area. In reality, good and evil are perceptions that the normal human being give to ideas so that they, but some moral standing, I guess. I don't understand the actual ideas between good and evil because they actually don't exist in the world. I don't care what anybody ever says about evil men, evil women, good men, good women. From a perceptive point of view, there's good and there's bad. But in reality, there's not a good and a bad. There's just people being people. Sometimes you have people that do fundamentally caring things, and sometimes you have people that do fundamentally uncaring things. The perception is based on what a society or societal group sees things from point of view. Slavery. At one time, fundamentally, everybody nowadays believes that slavery is bad, even though we still have slave markets, whether sex slave or otherwise, in the world, just in smaller pockets than it was at one time. Now, slavery, what most people don't understand, in the United States, they base it off of slavery of blacks to whites. Now, slavery actually encompasses all nationalities. It is not gender specific, it is not color specific, it is not breed specific. It is one human being taking another and putting them under their control for the rest of their life with mental or physical shackles. And slavery can be a mom using your emotional status to get the kid to keep coming over and doing things for her, to being bound and chained, going, yes master, I'll do it master, to a government using propaganda to keep a society from uprising against them. Now, the perception is that one form of slavery is worse than another. And the truth, whether it's physical or emotional, slavery in a whole is wrong. Doesn't matter what the situation is. Now, the perception based on that is based on who the majority is that's doing whatever. So if a majority of people agree that slavery is good, then the perception by society is slavery is good. Where if it's done by the individual that's uprising against it, the upriser is perceived as being wrong. So that's where the subjectiveness of said subject comes in. It's always subjective by the individual people. With the perception of the last few weeks, the bombing, which I will be doing a video on that right after this, on Boston. Now the perception is that these two boys is the sole and only bombers. The reality is, and this is where most people are confused, the reality is that we, the general public, had no concept of what actually happened. We are being manipulated to believe the perception that they are evil people without evidence being proven to substantiate that that's what the claim is. And this is how I'm using perception to make people understand. If you don't understand, that's fine. I understand. I wholeheartedly understand that some people lack the skills to understand what a word means or what an idea means. It is not their lack of ignorance. It is just something with them. It's like time travel. I understand the premise of time travel. I understand that time travel needs a certain amount of energy to be accomplished. The mathematical equations and the scientific solutions to it, I don't understand. Okay, and how to get the solution for one, the solution two, it is not the lack of ignorance, it is the lack of, I am not functioning in that area. So if an idea comes across and I go, or I make some stupid remark, it's because I have a lack of understanding, not stupidity or lack of brains. It's understanding of the area being involved in. Same thing with word usage. Some people understand how a word is used. Other people do not, even when you hand them a dictionary, like this one, for an idea. And perception is one of those. Most people, if you're told that it's subjective, they go, no, it isn't. Perception is perception is subjective to the individual's ability to see or intuitionalize situations around and how you deal with it because of individual personalities or personalities. Now, I'm not condemning or condoning perception of news events for the last 6 months or the last 16 years. Okay, how I perceive it is one way, and how somebody else would is another. But the truth is not perceived through an individual. Truth just is. In any, so that nobody gets confused, in any situation. The truth just is. Whether it's perceived by one or many or none. It'll always be. So, with that, this is Draft Store on Perception. Draft Store, or Draft it. Have fun.